It's Luis with another video tutorial for 4-H members, parents, leaders, and coaches in the 4-H Food Challenge. I'm going to help you find information related to serving size, nutrients, how those nutrients are used in your body, and safe food handling practices. All of that is part of the Food Challenge event. It's part of the interview, so it's really important that you not only know that information, but when you're given those resources, you know where to find them. This video is one of several videos designed to help you and your 4-H Food Challenge team gather the important information you need to present during your interview. So as you know, the contest requires you to present information about a variety of topics related to the ingredients you were given, the ingredients you were using, and the dish you prepared. As you know, the contest requires you to present information about a variety of topics related to the ingredients that you were given, used, and that are in the dish you prepared. There are 5 resources that should be part of all the food nutrition projects, and there are 5 main resources that you can use to find that information. And depending on the contest organizers, they might be provided in a little different format. You just have to know what you're looking for and do it quickly. The first one is Myplate. Myplate is the U.S. Department of Agriculture's approved 5 dietary food groups and the recommended daily amounts we should consume in order to maintain a healthy diet. One important part of this resource is that daily amounts are also given by age and gender. Also, this resource can tell you how much of each food item there is in 1 cup. Like 32 seedless grapes counts as 1 cup of fruit. If you're on the website, this is how it works. You click on the food group, then click on the plus sign by daily table and plus sign by cup table, and see all the ingredients in that food group. You can also see this in some printed format. You just need to know what you're looking for so that you recognize it when you see it. As it relates to the 4-H Food Challenge, use this to match the ingredients you're given to one of the food groups they fit in, the amount you or others need to consume in a healthy diet, maybe pick your own gender and age group, and the amount you're actually given and use in your dish. This brings us to the next resource, the Dietary Guidelines for Americans, 2015 to 2020, 8th edition. This was developed by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Office of Disease Prevention and Health Promotion. Whew! Had to get all that in there. And, of course, USDA. This resource is most important before you ever get to the contest. Study it a little bit at a time and know that these are recommendations about a healthy and nutritionally adequate diet to help promote health and prevent diseases. It's important information you will need to convey about your dish in the interview. But you won't get this resource at the contest. You can download it if you want, but it's 144 pages of good info about healthy eating. The next resource is Fightback. This is not another FX music video. It's a resource that focuses exclusively on preventing food poisoning and foodborne illness. It is a consumer safety education campaign based on the core practices of clean, separate, cook, and chill. These are things you should be doing as a team when you prepare your dish, but also important to convey that information during your interview. Remember, you're being evaluated not only by what you know and share in your interview, but also that you are practicing what you preach when you're preparing your dish. There are a lot of resources, but one of the main resources is the Fightback Brochure. This is a 1-pager front and back that highlights some very important information. Be familiar with it, find the connection between it and the ingredients you have been provided, and remember to incorporate that throughout your food challenge event. Before, during, and after. Clean, separate, cook, and chill. This is a very simple resource, Nutritional Concepts, that helps you and your team identify the macronutrients, water-soluble vitamins, fat-soluble vitamins, minerals, and electrolytes in many of the foods we consume. This guide focuses on the type of nutrient, what it does for the body, what types of foods have those nutrients, and what you might see in a person's health if they are deficient in those nutrients. We'll show you another resource later that's similar but easier to follow, especially at the event. These are likely the resources you will get at the Food Challenge event. Let's take a minute to see how to use them. You'll have the Myplate mini poster, the Fightback Brochure, Know Your Nutrients, or the Nutritional Concepts, the worksheet, and the receipts and purchase prices, if applicable, for all of the ingredients that you actually receive. Let's start with the Myplate mini poster. This is a really simple resource to find some great information. Mostly it identifies the 5 food groups on the front of the resource. On the back, you can identify the number of servings in each group that is recommended for a 2,000 calorie diet. For example, in proteins, based on a 2,000 calorie diet, a person would need 5.5 ounces. Now that could be tuna fish, beans, peanut butter, eggs, or some other form of protein. Here's where the information goes on the worksheet. You will list the food or the ingredient, the food group it belongs to, and the number of servings needed each day. Remember, if you're basing it on the 2,000 calorie diet, you need to note that. If you're basing the recommendations on your own age and gender or that of someone else, you'll need to note that as well. Next is the Fightback Brochure. This one is also pretty simple, just 1 page front and back. If it looks like it's organized a little weird, that's because it's actually a trifold brochure. You really should already know this information, but you can refer to it as a refresher. There is a section of the worksheet that you should take notes on. If there's nothing really unique about the ingredients you've been given and general practices are used, just note that here. But, for example, if you're given raw eggs or fish, be sure and address one or several of the 4 concepts: clean, separate, cook, and chill. You should also take note of the safe minimal internal temperatures as measured with a food thermometer. You can find those here on the Fightback Brochure. You can also find a reference on the other page of the Fightback Brochure in the chill and cook sections. The Nutrition Concepts was referenced earlier. Here you can see macronutrients, including carbohydrates, protein, and fats, the fat-soluble vitamins, the water-soluble vitamins, the minerals or elements, and the electrolytes. The important information you can find in this resource is what types of foods provide certain macronutrients or other types of nutrients, and what they do for the body. The better resource and easier one to follow is the Know Your Nutrients. This is a relatively new resource that should be provided in your packet when you attend a Food Challenge event. This resource is a great tool to give you some really good information about your ingredients and your dish. This resource is key to helping you identify what nutrients are in the ingredients that you've been provided, what those nutrients can do for the body, or the lack of nutrients and what that impact can have on the body. Let's take water-soluble vitamins as an example. They include all of the vitamins listed here. And so here's an example of water-soluble nutrients. Let's take, for example, broccoli. Broccoli is a source of vitamin C. What function it has is it's an antioxidant. It helps with immune function, wound healing. People who are deficient in vitamin C can find themselves with sores or bleeding gums, poor wound healing, pain in the joints, bones, and muscles, even hair and tooth loss. So use this resource to help you find that really important information about the ingredients that you have. Here's where you enter that information on the worksheet. Remember, the worksheet is not turned in. This is just a tool to help you organize the information you'll be using during your interview. If you have a different form or a worksheet, that's awesome. I hope you found this information helpful. In fact, if you have some ideas on how that worksheet could be structured differently, leave us a comment below. Also, the receipts, any of the paperwork that has the commodities or the items or the ingredients that you were given and the amounts should be included as part of your packet. That is used to help calculate the cost of your dish and the cost per serving. I hope you were able to learn a little bit about how to use the resource packet that you'll be provided during the food challenge to find the information you need to prepare for your interview. Remember, the resources might look a little bit different from contest to contest, but the information is all the same. Please be sure and like this video and share it if you found it helpful. And good luck!